Okay, students, in today's class, we are going to have a very important poem produced by Lord Alfred Tennyson. This is a poem included in your course and most probably unit number 11. Before we start this poem, it's very important to guide you people about the background of this poem. When we talk about this poem is basically an elegy. Elegy is a poem or a piece of art which is produced for the dead one in the memory of that particular person. So when we talk about this poem is written by Tennyson for his own friend and fellow poet, author Henry Helen. Next thing which we will be getting information about this poem, that is this, it was published in 1835. 2 years after the death of Helen, the friend of the poet. Third point, or the third thing which we'll be discussing in this poem, that is the poet is very sad over the loss of his friend. Yes, definitely. It is said that the influence of the death of author Helen can be found in all of the works of Tennyson. He is deeply lost in the memories of his best friend and a fellow poet, author Helen. And in different works, in different poems which he produced, the influence of the death of this personality is quite obvious. Next point which we'll be discussing, the poet is nostalgic. Actually, just because of the death of his friend, the poet is finding himself in the past, or he remains in the past. He is not going to forget the time he spent with his friend, author Helen. So he's becoming nostalgic, the one who loves the past. Next thing we'll be discussing, that is, the poet has also shown the impermanence of the worldly life. With the death of his friend, the poet wants to convey the message that whatsoever may happen, but everything in this world is for a temporary span of time. Everything is of temporal nature. Everything is transitory. Everything is not permanent. So here the poet will be showing the impermanence of everything related to worldly values. Next thing we'll be discussing, the people and time cannot come back. Yes, it's a bitter reality. Everybody knows that. Time goes, but memories remain. The people, those who come here, they are here to go back. In other words, I can say life is the token of death. Whosoever comes here will go back. Nothing remains here forever. Everything is mortal. Everything will face decline. Everything will be facing decadence. Most importantly, if you talk about human beings, nobody will remain in this world. And the last point, everything will become a memory. Yes, right now I'm here. There were so many people, those who were present. But right now, some of them are not present among us. They have passed away. They are behind the curtains. They are the part of the other phase of their life or the journey. So they are not here. So this is what has been told by the poet, that everything in this world is transitory and not permanent. And next thing which we'll be discussing, those are the poetic devices. Next thing, poetic devices which will be used or which have been used by the poet: anaphora, apostrophe, enjambment, metaphor, synecdoche. These are the poetic devices. And when we talk about the rhyming scheme of this poem, the rhyming scheme of this poem is A, B, B, C in all the stanzas. Now what I'm going to do, I will be discussing this poem in the light of, different stanzas. I'm to read break on the cold grey stones, oh sea. From the very beginning, we are going to find out that the poet is addressing the waves of the seas directly to show your power, to smash against the cliffs, to smash against the grey stones, the way you always do. So two things have been used. The very first thing, the use of anaphora. The repetition of any phrase, any line. repeatedly or continuously in some lines. So this will be repeated again and again, break, break, break. On the other hand, the poet is directly addressing the sea. So this is what we call apostrophe. When any non-living or inhuman entity is addressed directly, just like a human being, it is called apostrophe. So here the poet is directly addressing the waves of the sea. Let's come and smash against the cliffs the way you do. Here basically what the poet wants to say, let me explain. And I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Here the poet is basically lost in the memories of his friend when he used to be with his friend Arthur Hallam at the same spot where he is right now. But the difference is that the same action was taking place that time. The waves were smashing against the cliffs, but that time his friend was present. Now his friend is not present over here. So the poet is of the opinion that the feelings and the emotions I have in my heart, I cannot explain those emotions and feelings in words. It's quite difficult to express those emotions. It means he's quite he is becoming the part of sentimentalism. He is quite sad because he is not able to forget his friend. It is quite difficult to forget his friend because all the memories are still present with him, but not the friend. So that's why he is asking, everything which is happening and which used to take place, which used to happen. But right now, everything is same. But the friend is not present. So here the impermanence of the worldly things, worldly life has been shown by the poet. And another poetic device has been used in this stanza in the line third and fourth. Enjambment. Enjambment is a literary technique when the poet jumps to the next line just to maintain the flow of his thought or idea into the next line. So he maintains the continuity without using any punctuation mark, as we have no punctuation mark in the line 3, and poet is directly jumping into the line 4. Next stanza, the poet says, "Oh well for the fisherman boy that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh well for the sailor lad that he sings in his boat on the bay." Here the poet is facing few things apparently in front of him. He is facing that two kids, brother and sister, they are just enjoying, they are just playing. But the poet is of the opinion that right now they are playing, but with the passage of time they will get older. They will not remain the same. Their childhood will not remain forever. They will become old people, and a time will come when their memories will just remain in the world, but they themselves will not be over here. And the next thing he says, he's going to talk about the sailor's lad who is present on the boat and just singing some song. And he's saying that right now the song of the boy will always be remembered, because right now he is here, but after some time he may not be over here forever. He will just be remembered. Just with his boat he will vanish away. Here the poet is going to use a metaphor. Why? The term bay is a direct metaphor for the grave. As this boy will vanish away, sailing on the boat, a time will come he will be out of the sight. Same is the case with every human being, that with the passage of time, degree by degree, he is moving towards his destination, death, and eventually he will be the part of the grave, and he will not be in the world anymore. Next thing, and stately ships gone to their heavenly under the hill, but oh for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still. May the poet is again going to give the reference of so many ships which are present in front of him. Right now he is of the opinion that these ships are quite visible, but slowly and gradually these ships will vanish away, will not be apparent, will not be in sight. They will be out of the sight and they will go under the hills. Once again giving the reference, a metaphor that he is giving reference of, or using metaphor for the grave. I mean, as these ships will go somewhere and will be out of the sight, right now they are present, but time will come, they will not be present. Degree by degree, they will go far away and they will be quite close to their final destination, but they will be out of the sight. Same will be the case with the human beings. Right now they are over here, but with the passage of time, they will get older and finally they will move, they will reach their final destination, and that is their graveyard. And that is the reference which has been used by the poet, and what I call metaphor. Hills and over here bay, these are the direct metaphors have been used for the grave. And now the poet is going to say that he's going to miss once again his friend. He's saying that the hand which used to be in my hand, and the voice which was quite audible when my friend was, author Helen was present in the world. He was audible, his hand was present, but right now present over here, being the part of this spot, facing everything, I can just miss that my friend used to be over here. I was able to listen to my friend very clearly, but now I can just miss his voice, I can just miss his hand. Once again, another poetic device has been used, and that is synecdoche. When the poet uses any part to represent the whole. Here the hand, here the voice. Basically, they are using some, elements, some parts, but through the hand and the voice, writer is representing his friend, author Helen. So this stanza is once again showing what? The impermanence. As the ships are vanishing away, same is the case with human beings. A time will come when everybody will pass away and will not be the part of this world. Final stanza, I'm going towards break, break, break. Once again, the same line has been repeated, anaphora. Okay. At the foot of thy crags, O sea, but the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back to me. Here the poet is saying that whatsoever you may do, O sea, you are having a power. You have authority to smash against the cliffs, the bottom line of the rocks. You have authority, you can do. But thing is that whatsoever you may do, you cannot bring my friend back to me. He will never come back. Whatever you may do, as you have power, but your power might not be that powerful that you can bring my dead friend back to life again. So it is said that life is the token of death. Everybody is coming over here to go back. Everybody has got some, tenure, some time, some decided period of time to spend in the world. And right after doing that, we'll definitely go. As Shakespeare says, everybody is just like, an actor, and this world is just like a stage, and we are just like the actors or performers, and everybody has got acts to play. So this is what has been represented over here. But there were certain elements of elegy which have been represented by the poet. That was very first thing. He was just repenting and missing, or just I must say commemorating the death of his friend. On the other hand, he is being the part of the past. It means he was nostalgic. So this was all about this poem. Inshallah, in the coming class we'll be definitely discussing something else about that. For today, that's enough. Thank you very much.